first thing first, as always, let's go to Heroku. Heroku.com. You go there, you create an account. They direct me to my dashboard because I already have an account. You can create your own account and sign up. And let's create a new project. No, to build an application, I want to deploy it to Heroku. This is, many companies for your staging environment, they are going to be deployed on Heroku and production to AWS or some other service. Some your staging and production will both be on Heroku. As a PM, it will be interesting to really know how this works. Don't forget, staging is where you test before it's like a stage, where things have not yet been really deployed to production. That does not make any sense actually. But like staging is pre-production, right? It's just for you to test internally, make sure everything works. Right? Then production is now what your user has access to. So many companies will deploy the applications to staging. If you wanted to deploy the application yourself or see how this happens with Heroku, you go to Heroku, you sign up, and when you're at the dashboard, you click on new, create a new application. Let me just create a demi-ng product management. Region United States. Do I have? Nope. Okay. Then create an app. Quite a simple process. Once I've created the app, I would go to CLI. Remember, we talked about CLI applications that don't really have a fancy interface per se. You work with them using the terminal. So we'll go to CLI application. Let's install it. Let's follow the steps. Actually, before we even install it, let's look at this. We don't need any of this here for now. Deployment method, we can deploy using the Heroku CLI. We can deploy using GitHub. Or we can deploy using container registry. I'm not sure I have Heroku installed. I can download the CLI. Let me just confirm if I have it installed. Interesting, I have it installed. Great. So if you've not installed Heroku yet and you want to, you can just click on the Heroku CLI here to download it. It's quite a straightforward process. And you download the CLI, install it using Git. Everybody uses Git for everything, so it's very important to know how to use Git. Or developers know how to use Git. You don't have to know how to use Git. So to install, click on any key to open the browser. It logs me in. I'm logged in. And I go back to my CLI and I'm logged in. Good. So to deploy, I need to run this command. Usually the deployment guys will tell you the command you need to use. So git init, I already have git. Do this. Now I think my application already has a URL of my generator. So if I click on open app on the Heroku dashboard, it takes me to demi-manager.heroku.app.com, a subdomain. Remember GitHub was this? Where's my GitHub URL? I've lost it. Yeah, this is my GitHub. demi.github.io. Right? My Heroku URL is a little bit different. It's going to be demi-ng.heroku.app just for testing. So this is the default that was provided to me. I need to override this with my own application. So following the step, I've done this. I've committed. And let's push to Heroku. Somewhere failed. I'm on main branch. Let me just push to main. So I tried following the step to deploy to Heroku, git push Heroku master, and I got an error. For different deployments, the code has to be configured differently. Now I'm just showing you how this is done. Like I said, like I've been saying all over again, you really don't have to do this yourself. It's just to just show you how this is done, so you have kind of like an idea of some of these things. So I'm getting an error. What's the error I got? This occurs when Heroku detects you don't have a build pack to use the application automatically. Some weird error. This occurs when Heroku cannot detect the build pack to use. So let me just Google this error because I'm a lazy human being. I kind of like know what the error does, but just for your sake, I'll Google it in your presence. So this error message means that Heroku was unable to automatically detect the type of app you are trying to deploy. Unfortunately, because Heroku allows me to deploy dynamic applications, it needs to know what kind of application I'm deploying. Unlike GitHub, in which it's just a static page, you cannot really deploy any dynamic application. So it doesn't get more interesting than HTML that you're pushing to GitHub. Heroku, I could deploy a node application, a PHP application, and all I have in my application here is just an HTML file. So I might want to really tell Heroku what kind of file I'm using. So let me just open this. What kind of program language I'm using. So let me open this. I hope the Heroku that shows me the solution to the problem. Heroku is going to detect the type of application you're deploying. So let's open this and see what going on. Let's open this. So I need to set a build pack within my application. So let's give that a shot. Let's see what works, if that works. I'm going to copy this command. We are still dealing with the world of CLI applications. I've copied the command. So let me refresh. Where is the refresh? And I push to Heroku once more. So the build pack issue, I've solved it. So I just copied the code. You don't really need to do much of this. I'll be honest with you. I've added a few other scripts just to make it work. I don't really need to bore you with all those details. And now I'm just going to edit my code and add Heroku. Welcome to my course, just so you can identify it's from Heroku, different from the GitHub one. I run my Git commands, my Git CLI commands, which you really don't care too much about. And I push it and we see it get deployed. So let's wait, let's hope it works. Don't slime me. Don't disappoint me. Work. Good, so let's reload my sites. And great. Hi, Heroku, welcome to. So we can see I've successfully deployed to Heroku. So you can deploy your backend application with Node.js, Python, or whatever application, or your devs can do this using Heroku. The process is relatively similar with a few changes from any other product out there. AWS is a lot more complex. I wouldn't be going through that one now. You have Netlify, you have a lot more deployment platforms you can use. But that's it. We just touched on GitHub and we touched on Heroku. Thank you. See you in the next content where we round up on everything.